So at this point, you've probably heard of the keto diet, and you might even know someone who's tried it. But just because it's more popular than other trending diets doesn't necessarily mean it's the right choice for you. So today we're gonna talk about what the keto diet is, where it came from, what you can eat on it, and more. Let's get into the internet's most asked questions about the keto diet. What is the keto diet? So you might not know that the keto diet started in a clinical setting as a way to help reduce seizures in children with epilepsy. But then it became of interest for several other chronic diseases like diabetes and high cholesterol, and especially for weight loss. So the keto diet itself is a high-fat, moderate protein, and super low-carb diet. So a strict clinical keto diet only has about 5% of calories from carbs. So for most adults, that would be around 25 grams of carbs per day. That would be about 2 slices of bread or a half cup of rice for the entire day. For most people, that's too strict. So people outside of the clinical setting usually follow some form of modified keto diet that's a little bit higher in carbs. Why is the keto diet so low in carbs? So the goal of the keto diet is to try and get the body into ketosis. So ketosis is when the body turns to breaking down stored fat molecules called ketone bodies in the absence of circulating blood sugar from food. So normally our bodies run on glucose, and that's actually their preferred source of energy. So while you might be able to achieve ketosis on the keto diet, you'll likely go back to burning glucose once you're not so restrictive. What foods can you eat on the keto diet? So basically you can eat any low-carb food on the keto diet, especially if it's high in fat. So that includes things like seafoods, meats, poultry, eggs and cheese, lower-carb vegetables like greens, cauliflower and zucchini, avocados, nuts and seeds, oils, butters, and even some lower-carb dairy like plain Greek yogurt or cottage cheese. So most fruits are not allowed because they're higher in carbs, but fruits like berries are lower in carbs, so they're allowed in moderation on the keto diet. Also, unsweetened coffee or tea, dark chocolate, and cacao powder are allowed on the keto diet. What foods can you not eat on the keto diet? So basically all other foods that are higher in carbs are not allowed on the keto diet. This includes grains and whole grains, higher carb fruits like apples and bananas or fruit juices, sweetened yogurt, baked goods, chips, crackers, starchy vegetables like potatoes, squash, and corn, or honey and sugar in any form. So if you're following the keto diet, it doesn't necessarily mean you can never have these foods, but it just might make it hard to fit them into your eating pattern when you're trying to restrict carbs so much. What food and drinks are sometimes allowed on the keto diet? So there are several moderate carb foods that might be easier to fit into your eating pattern when you're on the keto diet, like milk, which has about 12 grams per cup. And certain types of alternative milks, like almond and coconut, might be even lower carb if they're unsweetened. Beans and legumes are super high in tons of vitamins and minerals, fiber, and protein, but they are a little bit higher in carbs. Fiber is a type of carb, after all. So you can fit them into your diet in moderation if you're on keto, but some keto dieters exclude them completely because of their carb content. Are there any pros to the keto diet? So there is a really solid evidence base in the keto diet in the treatment of seizure disorders and epilepsy, especially in children. And in fact, in some cases, it's just as effective as medication. People following the keto diet for lifestyle reasons often report weight loss in the short term while they're following the diet. So some research has found that the keto diet might be helpful for other types of chronic disease like diabetes and some brain diseases, but much of the evidence is conflicting and more research is needed to identify the long-term effects on human health. What are the cons of the keto diet? So for starters, the diet is super restrictive and it cuts out a lot of really healthy foods like fruits, several types of vegetables, whole grains, and dairy. These foods contribute a lot of fiber, vitamins, and minerals that are harder to find in foods that are allowed on the keto diet. And like any other restrictive diet, the benefits will only last as long as you can last on the diet. Your electrolyte levels also plummet when your body flushes out so much water. So the initial weight loss on the keto diet is typically water weight. So it's really important to replenish those, especially sodium, magnesium, and potassium. Lastly, people do experience some adverse symptoms when they're starting on the keto diet. So the lack of fiber can contribute to constipation, and people might experience what's known as the keto flu when they start going into ketosis. So this is when your body starts burning those ketones, and it presents kind of like an illness, including symptoms like brain fog, headaches, lack of energy, and even nausea in some cases. Some people even report bad breath and hair loss when they're going into ketosis. And I could go on, but I should probably stop there. So as a registered dietitian, I would not recommend the keto diet to anyone who asked me about it. It cuts out a lot of really nutritious foods. That said, if you are interested in the diet, I hope this video helps you understand where it originated, what foods are allowed, and what foods are not. Thanks for watching.